Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 International Academicians Hong Kong Forum will begin shortly. Would you please kindly take your seats? Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the 2026 International Academicians Hong Kong Forum. My name is Kaka Lam. It's my great pleasure to be your MC today. We are currently living in an era of profound transformation and unprecedented opportunities. The rapid advancement of frontier technologies is fundamentally reshaping every aspect of human society. In this highly interconnected world, technological progress and international collaboration are more crucial than ever. Amidst this new wave of technological and industrial revolution, scientists around the globe are actively exploring ways to push the boundaries of science and drive societal progress through innovation. Today, the International Alliance of Academicians, IAA, and the Hong Kong Association of Overseas Returned Scholars, HKAORS, proudly present this forum, bringing together leading global academics to exchange ideas on two core themes: aging and chronic disease management, challenges and innovations, and AI and innovation in higher education. We look forward to sparkling cross-disciplinary and cross-border dialogues that will provide new perspectives and solutions to global challenges. First, please look at the screen and let's enjoy our opening video.
Founded by visionary leaders, the International Alliance of Academicians has emerged as a vital force linking Hong Kong to global research frontiers. Serving as a bridge for scientific exchange, IAA is dedicated to advancing knowledge with a mission to advance human progress through research and innovation. In March 2025, the inaugural IAA Forum was graced by Mr. John Lee, Chief Executive of Hong Kong's Special Administrative Region. It established the IAA as an international science and technology organization based in Hong Kong, gathering together scholars from over 20 countries to discuss AI for health and future city. IAA has forged a vibrant global academic network that transforms insights into action. As China's 15th five-year plan launches, Hong Kong unveils its first five-year plan. Charting an ambitious future for innovation and talent, the IAA stands at the heart of this vision. In this new era of renaissance, the IAA Forum reaffirms our collective commitment to building a sustainable and human world. We will keep uniting global wisdom to address humanity's greatest challenges, solidifying Hong Kong's role as a global academic hub. This year, we focus on two urgent global issues: aging and chronic disease management, challenges and innovations, and AI and innovation in higher education. We are honored to welcome world-renowned scholars to envision a people-centered future, harnessing innovation to nurture new talents and build a better world for all. Welcome to the 2026 International Academicians Hong Kong Forum. Join us where insight meets impact.
Thank you for the inspiring video. The International Alliance of Academicians, IAA, is committed to fostering global collaboration among leading scientists and scholars, with a shared vision to advance knowledge for the betterment of humanity. Its mission is to promote interdisciplinary innovation, bridge academia and society, and address pressing global challenges through collective intelligence. The IAA Forum serves as an important platform to connect global thought leaders, encourage cross-sector dialogue, and explore forward-looking solutions, particularly in areas that shape our future, such as health and education in the age of intelligence. Before we proceed, let us take a moment to acknowledge the distinguished guests who have graced us with their presence today. They are Professor Nancy Yip, Founding Chair of the International Alliance of Academicians and President of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Professor Dong Sun, Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Bureau, Government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Mr. Mao Zhou Liu, representative from the Department of Educational, Scientific, and Technological Affairs, Liaison Office of the Central People's Government in the Hong Kong SAR. Professor Shing-Tung Yao, Fields Medalist 1982 and Director of the Yao Mathematical Sciences Center and Children College of Tsinghua University. Professor Ariel Washoe, Nobel Laureate in Chemistry 2013 and Distinguished Professor at Large and Director of Washoe Institute for Computational Biology, CUHK Shenzhen. Mr. Ivan K.B. Lee, Commissioner for Innovation and Technology of the Innovation and Technology Commission, Innovation, Technology and Industry Bureau. Professor Alexander Ping Kong Wai, President and Vice Chancellor of the Hong Kong Baptist University. Professor Yi Ke Guo, Provost of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Professor Chak-Shing Lau, Vice President and Pro-Vice Chancellor Health of the University of Hong Kong. Professor Vivian Wing-Hua Yam, Vice President and Pro-Vice Chancellor Global Innovation Center of the University of Hong Kong. Professor Li Wenjiang, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Vice President, External Affairs of the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Professor Beng Yang, Vice President, Student and Global Affairs of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Professor Anderson Ho Chen Shum, Vice President, Research of the City University of Hong Kong. Professor Xin Yao, Vice President, Research and Innovation of Lingnan University. Engineer Professor C.C. Chan, Distinguished Chair Professor of Electric Vehicles and Smart Energy, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Dr. Yin Xing Hao, Executive President of the Hong Kong Institute of Science and Innovation, Chinese Academy of Sciences. The Honorable Duncan Chiu, Member of the Legislative Council for the Technology and Innovation Functional Constituency, Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Mr. Hendrik Sin, Hong Kong's Deputy of the 14th National People's Congress. Engineer Dr. Alex Chan, President of Hong Kong Academy of Engineering. Mr. Lawrence Chi Chong Chung, Chief Technology Officer of the Hong Kong Productivity Council. Dr. The Honorable Hui Simon Lee, Member of the Legislative Council for the Election Committee Constituency, Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, will join us later. And our distinguished speakers from all over the world, IAA Executive Committee members, renowned scholars, and industry leaders. We'd also like to extend our sincere thanks to the Innovation and Technology Commission, ITC, for their funding support and on-site attendance, and our valued sponsors, Lenovo, MatFirst Limited, and Huashan Technology and Education Group Limited for their generous contributions and in-person support. Let's give another big round of applause to welcome and thank you all our guests. Now we'll officially commence the opening ceremony. First, we are honored to have the video opening address from the Honorable John K.C. Lee, Chief Executive of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, who places great importance on this forum despite his busy official schedule. Now please look at the screen and welcome his address.
Professor Nancy Ip, Professor Sir Christopher Vissarides, Professor Pierre Louis Lyon, Professor Shing-Tung, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Hong Kong. I'm pleased to join you all at this year's International Academicians Hong Kong Forum. For the second year in a row, this forum is organized by the International Alliance of Academicians. This year's event brings together Nobel laureates, Fields medalists, and a host of globally renowned experts and academics in the fields of medicine, AI, higher education, and more. Among the finest minds from around the world, you have gathered here to promote the transformation of outstanding academic research into application. Hong Kong is well placed to hold this important dialogue. Under the unique one country, two systems principle, we are the only world city that enjoys both the China advantage and the global advantage. We boast 5 universities in the world's top 100. Our research environment is open and vibrant. Our intellectual property protection is robust and aligned with international standards. These lay the solid foundation for the development of our innovation and technology ecosystem and talent regime. The National 15th Five-Year Plan, approved last month, gives strong backing to Hong Kong's development into an international innovation and technology center, an international hub for high-caliber talent. More than recognizing our potential, this is a call to action for us to devote our efforts into promoting innovation and academic cooperation. This year's forum puts a much-needed spotlight on artificial intelligence and, crucially, how it brings about innovation in higher education and an aging population. In our ever-changing world, the application of AI is pivotal for economies to make new breakthroughs in technological advancement. Hong Kong is taking forward the National AI Plus initiative by promoting industries for AI and AI for industries. As a key driver, the Hong Kong Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Institute will commence operation in the second half of this year. The institute will be tasked to promote AI plus development and transformation of R&D outcomes, thereby empowering industries such as healthcare, legal services, and finance to adopt AI. As part of the Inno Hong Kong initiative, the Hong Kong SAR government established the Hong Kong Generative AI Research and Development Center in 2023. The center has successfully launched Hong Kong's first large language model and a series of generative AI applications based on it. Hong Kong Chat, the generative AI chatbot created by the center, has over 700,000 local registered users. We are committed to nurturing a new generation of users and innovators of AI. The Hong Kong SAR government endeavors to have at least 35% of the students in our publicly funded universities studying STEAM-related subjects by the next academic year. We have also introduced the Hong Kong Future Talent Scholarship Scheme for advanced studies to attract more local students to pursue advanced studies in areas crucial to the development of Hong Kong with science, technology, and digital transformation very much included. We have also launched the Fund for Innovative Technology in Education, which helps universities harness innovative and breakthrough technologies to transform teaching methods and enrich learning experience, all to nurture a digitally competent and technologically responsible generation for the future success of our young people in the digital economy. The people of Hong Kong are blessed with longevity and healthy lives. The life expectancies at birth increased from 67.8 years for males and 75.3 years for females in 1971 to 82.7 years and 88.2 years respectively in 2024. That's one of the highest life expectancies around the world. As fortunate as we are, we know that chronic diseases could also be more prevalent in an aging population. The Hong Kong government is accelerating clinical trials to promote the development of Hong Kong into an international health and medical innovation hub. To expedite patients' access to advanced diagnostic and treatment services, we are rapidly expanding our clinical trial capabilities. Clinical trial, as you all know, is a key process in driving the translation of innovative governmental R&D outcomes into clinical applications. Just last December, we launched the Greater Bay Area Clinical Trial Collaboration Platform. It was set up alongside the Real World Study and Application Center under the Greater Bay Area International Clinical Trial Institute. Both are located in the Hepao, Shing-Tung Hong Kong Science and Technology Innovation Cooperation Zone, an area straddling the boundary between Hong Kong and Shenzhen and rapidly becoming a global INT hub. We work closely with our main counterparts to streamline cross-boundary clinical trials. We aim to provide a one-stop support platform for medical research and development institutions worldwide and accelerate the translation of cutting-edge medical technologies into clinical applications. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to working with a world of experts and professionals to solve the problems and embrace the opportunities brought by the rapid development of technology. I'm confident that the International Alliance of Academicians and all of you here will continue to play a vital role in fostering global scientific cooperation. While you enjoy the forum and this special week of gatherings of bright minds in Hong Kong, do take some time to rejoice in this world city as well, which is fast rising as an East-West center for international cultural exchange. The pursuit of knowledge knows no boundaries. Neither should our cooperation. I wish you all a very productive and inspiring forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Next, let's give the warmest round of applause to welcome Professor Nancy Yip, Chair of the International Alliance of Academicians and President of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, to deliver the welcoming speech. Professor Yip, please.
Professor Shing-Tung, Mr. Li Maozhou, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As the President of the International Alliance of Academicians, IAA, it is my immense honor to welcome all of you to the 2026 International Academicians Hong Kong Forum. The IAA was established to foster partnerships across borders, across disciplines in order to advance scientific knowledge and drive innovation to address humanity's current pressing challenges. Today, we are very proud to bring you this forum in partnership with the Hong Kong Association of Overseas Returned Scholars and with support from the Innovation and Technology Commission. Centered on the intersecting themes of AI for aging and AI in higher education, this transformative event aims to explore AI innovations across both health and education sectors and identify practical pathways in order to accelerate their real-world impact. From supporting healthy aging and managing chronic diseases to adaptive leading platforms for learning that widen participation and boost outcomes in universities, AI technologies indeed have the potential to reshape societal approaches to both health and education. We have a truly world-class lineup to share their insights with us. Nobel laureate Professor Arya Washow, a pioneer in computational studies of the functional properties of biological molecules, and Fields Medalist Professor Shing-Tung, renowned for his contributions to mathematics and theoretical physics, will present the plenary lectures this morning. We are grateful for the unwavering support of our local academic community. It is our honor to welcome the presidents and the vice presidents from all 8 publicly funded universities to participate in our university presidents' roundtable discussion later this morning. Together, they will explore how higher education can contribute to shaping a more intelligent and a more sustainable future. We also welcome both local and international academicians and pioneers in the fields of medicine, AI, and higher education. They will share their insights during the roundtable discussion, as well as in 2 thematic sessions. One theme is on AI and chronic disease management, challenges and innovations. The second theme is on AI and innovation in higher education. Today's forum aims to inspire fresh insights and innovative ideas. I encourage each of you to challenge your own perspectives, engage in meaningful dialogues, and foster new connections. Your participation in this forum will play a crucial role in transforming the ideas and solutions that will emerge today into impactful outcomes. In closing, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude again to Professor Shing-Tung for officiating this flagship event. My heartfelt appreciation also goes to my co-chairs, Professors Pierre-Louis Lyons, Professor Chris Persevardes, and Professor Zhang Xiang, as well as the executive committee members, our distinguished speakers, partners, sponsors, and all those whose dedication has been instrumental in making this event possible. Thank you once again for joining us today, and I wish you all a day that is filled with insightful intellectual exchange, and we look forward to the cross-disciplinary alliances that are certain to emerge after today's forum. Thank you again for being here today to join this very meaningful event. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Yu. Please be seated. Next, may I invite Professor Dong Xuan, Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Bureau, Government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, to deliver his opening remarks. Professor Xuan, please.
Professor Nancy Yip, Mr. Liu Maozhou, Professor Tu, Professor Yao, Professor Washel, distinguished guests and speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great pleasure to join you all today at the opening ceremony of the 2026 International Alliance Hong Kong Forum. As an international academic organization rooted in Hong Kong, the Alliance of International Academicians, IAA in short, has demonstrated remarkable foresight in fostering deep interdisciplinary collaboration by building a distinguished platform for high-level academic exchange. IAA has capitalized on Hong Kong's connectivity and academic strengths to enhance academic excellence, accelerate knowledge transfer, spark innovation partnerships, and reinforces Hong Kong's role as a nexus for global scientific excellence. Today's forum exemplifies this vision, bringing together leading minds to explore two themes of profound global relevance, namely aging and chronic disease management, challenges and innovation, and AI and innovation in higher education. The Hong Kong SAR government has introduced a series of forward-looking initiatives in recent years to strengthen our innovation and technology ecosystem, particularly in AI and life and health technologies. We are investing strategically in research funding, talent development, and world-class infrastructure. At present, there are 30 research centers under the two Inno-Hong Kong research clusters, focusing on health technologies and AI and robotics, bringing together 3,000 top-notch researchers from more than 12 jurisdictions. 8 more centers on sustainable development, energy, advanced manufacturing, and materials will be established within this year. We are also pressing ahead with the development of the Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Park, as well as the construction of the Santian Technopole and the Sandy Ridge Data Facility Cluster. Through funding schemes such as the research, academic, and industry sectors 1+ scheme, and the forthcoming Innovation and Technology Industry-Oriented Fund, we are building robust cross-sector collaboration platforms that connect the government, the industry, academic, research, and investment sectors to create an ideal INT environment where scientific discovery can translate swiftly into real-world impact. Hong Kong's solid R&D capability and unique role as a super connector and a super value adder place us in a pivotal position to foster international INT collaboration. This week's events offer a vivid demonstration of Hong Kong's role. Alongside this forum, Hong Kong is hosting 2 flagship INT events: the World Internet Conference Asia Pacific Summit and InnoEX. Their presence here underscores Hong Kong's capability to gather global talent, capital, and enterprises, and to bring together scientific leaders, industry pioneers, and policymakers within a single week. It is a powerful reminder that Hong Kong is a place where the world comes together to chart the future of innovation. As we look ahead, I encourage all participating experts to make full use of Hong Kong as a platform for deeper collaboration with both Chinese mainland and international partners. Whether in health aging, chronic disease management, AI-enabled education, or frontier technology yet to emerge, Hong Kong offers a fertile ground where ideas flourish and global challenges addressed. May I also take this opportunity to invite you to visit our InnoEX, which is taking place next door at the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center, to experience Hong Kong's robust R&T ecosystem. In closing, I wish you all an inspiring, impactful, and visionary day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sun. Please remain on stage. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the kick-off ceremony of IAA is about to commence. To mark this exciting occasion, it is my great honor to invite the following guests to join Professor Sun on stage for the launching ceremony. Let's put our hands together to welcome Professor Nancy Yi, please. Also, let's welcome Mr. Mao Zhou Liu. Professor Shing-Tung Yao. Professor Ariel Washoe. Mr. Ivan K.B. Lee. Professor Alexander Ping Kong Wai. Professor Yi Ke Guo. Welcome, Professor Guo, please. And Professor Chuck Shing Lau. The Honorable Duncan Chiu. And Professor Wen Wei Tu. Welcome all our distinguished guests on stage. Now, may I invite our guests, please put your hand together on the LED screen. Before we start our kick-off ceremony, let's take a photo first. So would you please face the photographer in front of the stage? Maybe secretary, right hand, please. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Would you please face our camera in the front? And let's take a photo all together. Please keep your big smile. And also, please face our media friends at the back. Our media friends camera, please. Thank you. So are you ready to launch the 2026 International Academicians Hong Kong Forum? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations! I hereby announce the official opening of the 2026 International Academicians Hong Kong Forum. To mark this memorable moment, may I invite all our distinguished guests to please proceed forward to take another group photo at this important occasion. Thank you. Would our guests please step forward and please step closer towards each other. In one row, please. Closer and closer, please. Thank you. And then please face our official photographer at the center point in the front, please. Thank you so much. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, smile. And also, our media friends at the back, please. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you. With our guests of honor, please remain on stage. We now warmly invite all speakers and distinguished guests to join our honorable guests on stage. This is truly a moment to celebrate. The gathering of so many brilliant minds under one roof reflects the power of international collaboration and a shared vision. Let us take a moment to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts of the International Alliance of Academicians and all partners who have made this forum possible. Congratulations once again to everyone here for being part of this historic occasion. We all look forward to seeing the fruitful outcomes that will surely emerge from today's exchanges. Now, as our distinguished guests make their way to the stage, please join me in a warm round of applause to honor their outstanding contributions to science and humanity. We are already right, so now let us warmly welcome Engineer Professor C.C. Chan. Mr. Hendrickson. Let's put our hands together to welcome all our distinguished guests. Thank you for joining us. May I invite Mr. Lawrence Chi Chong Cheng, Dr. Yin Xing Hao, and now may I invite the following guests to join us on the second row. We have Professor Vivian Wenghua Yam, Professor Li Wenjiang, Professor Ben Yang, Professor Anderson Ho Cheng Sham, Professor Xin Yao, Professor Dragan Geshufic, Distinguished Professor of Learning Analytics of Monash University. Welcome. Professor John T. O'Brien, Professor of Old Age Psychiatry, Department of Psychiatry, University of Cambridge. Professor Zheng Zhang, Founder and Chief Scientist of the Hong Kong U Shanghai Cross Innovation Lab. Professor Wenming Wu, Vice President of the Peking Union Medical College Hospital. Professor Dae-Hoon Kim, Professor of Medicine of Harvard Medical School. Professor Hidenori Alai, President of the National Center of Geriatrics and Gerontology, NCGG, Japan. Professor Jacqueline Kwan Yok-Yoon, Clinical Assistant Professor of Department of Medicine, the University of Hong Kong. And Engineer Dr. Alex Chan. Welcome our guests. Let us take another group photo at this memorable moment. With our guests in the second row, please make sure you can face the camera in the front. Please show us your brightest smile. And our honorable guests, one step backward, please, closer to our other guests at the back. Thank you so much. All right. Are you ready? Please face our official camera first. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. And then would you please face our cameras at the back from our media friends? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Please remain on stage. We now invite our EC members and representatives from supporting organizations to join us on stage for our final photograph. Let's give them a wonderful round of applause. The distinguished guests are Mr. Ken Wong, Executive Vice President and President of Lenovo Solutions and Services Group. Mr. Guanhua Chen, Director of MedFirst Limited. Welcome. Ms. Yiman Liu, Executive Director and CEO of Huashang Technology and Education Group Company Limited. Ms. Phoebe Leung, Executive Director of Smart City Consortium. Mr. Hoi Shan-Xu, Director of Beijing Hong Kong Academic Exchange Center. Professor Lin Qin, Assistant Dean, Mainland Affairs of Faculty of Medicine, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Professor Jian Lu, Dean of College of Engineering of the City University of Hong Kong. Professor Hui Lin, Emeritus Professor of Departments of Geography and Resource Management, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Mr. Alfred Zhang, Honorary President of the Hong Kong Association of Overseas Returned Scholars, HKAORS. Professor Jian Guodai, Head and Chair Professor of Structural Engineering, Department of Architecture and Civil Engineering, City University of Hong Kong. Professor Song Guo, Chair Professor of Departments of Computer Science and Engineering, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Professor Jun Yu, Director of the State Key Laboratory of Digestive Disease, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. And Mr. Hong Yang, Board Member of the International Alliance of Academicians. Welcome, all our EC members and representatives from supporting organizations. Thank you. So please take your places and let's get ready for our final group photo. All right, please make sure you can face the cameras in the front. All right, would you please face our official photographer? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Smile for the camera, please. Also, please face our media friends camera at the back. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Also, we are taking video. On my count of 3, would you please give a big like, show your thumbs up. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up. Excellent. Let's give another big round of applause to thank all our honorable guests on stage. Thank you. Please be seated. May I firstly invite our visiting guests, please return to your seats first. Thank you so much. And also thank you to all our other honorable guests on stage. Please be seated. Thanks a lot. Today's forum brings together numerous distinguished academicians, leading scholars, and participants from around the world. Together, they will share the latest research findings, spark ideas, and co-create a vision for an intelligent future, with a focus on the innovative applications of artificial intelligence in health and education. As we prepare to dive into the first plenary lecture, let us take a brief moment to reflect on the significance of this gathering. Today, you will hear from world-renowned experts who are pushing the boundaries of knowledge. So please sit back, Perhaps take a sip of water and get ready for an intellectual journey. We will now kick off our first major session of the day. For your convenience, a QR code is posted in the top right corner of the screen, allowing you to submit questions at any point during the presentations and discussions. To chair this session, we are honored to welcome Professor Wen-Wei Tu, President of the Hong Kong Association of Overseas Returned Scholars, HKAORS, and Secretary General of the International Alliance of Academicians to the stage. Let's welcome Professor Tu, please.
It's my great pleasure to open today's plenary lecture by introducing our distinguished speaker, Professor Shing-Tung Yao. Professor Yao's work has fundamentally reshaped our understanding of geometry and physics. In 1982, he was awarded the Fields Medal for his groundbreaking contributions to differential geometry. Most notably, he proved the Galilee conjecture as a recipient of the Wolf Prize, the Crawford Prize, and the MacArthur Fellowship, and the Marcel Grossman Award and the Shaw Prize. Professor Yao has inspired generations of mathematicians globally. Please join me to welcome Professor Shing-Tung Yao.
Professor Nancy Yip and the conference organizer, thank you for your invitation. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to talk about mathematics, not only out of my lifelong passion towards mathematics, but more importantly, because mathematics is the fundamental cornerstone of science and technology. There can be no cutting-edge science such as AI or innovative technology without a solid foundation in mathematics. The truth is equally vital to Hong Kong's development as an international hub for innovation and technology. Hong Kong's pursuit of high-quality development, for drive to build a world-class innovation ecosystem, and its efforts to enhance core competitiveness all depend heavily on mathematics as the underlying support. Developing mathematics and advancing technologies are not separate endeavors, but two sides of the same coin, highly aligned in their goals and mutually reinforcement. Throughout the history of global development, nearly all major cities and countries have come to a profound realization. It is a misunderstanding to believe that focusing solely on technological development is sufficient. In fact, technological breakthroughs and sustainable development can only be achieved by building a solid foundation in basic science. And mathematics is the most core and essential component of basic science. A classical example is the great famous university, MIT. Its engineering disciplines have long stood at the forefront of the world, gaining global
acclaim for their innovation and influence. Yet, what many fail to recognize is that MIT's engineering excellency is built on its world-class mathematics development, constantly ranked the top 3 in the whole world. It is the strong support of mathematics that empowers MIT's engineers and scientists to continuously break through technological bottlenecks, explore new frontiers, and maintain in leading positions in global technology and engineering. This is why we attach such great importance to mathematics, why we take pride in the development of Chinese mathematics, and why we firmly believe that hosting International Congress Mathematics 2030 in Hong Kong will not only showcase the progress of mathematics in China and Hong Kong to the world, but also further promote the integration of mathematics, science, technology, and regional developments. So I would like to say a few words about the history of such a development. As the Republic of China began, a group of young scholars driven by a deep belief that science would save their nation went abroad to study, where mathematics were already flourishing, places like the United States, Europe, and Japan. They studied under the giants of the field at well-renowned institutions like Cambridge, Princeton, and the University of Chicago. This group included brilliant minds such as my teacher, Shing-Tung, and the famous Chinese mathematician Logan Wang. Yet, even as they earned international acclaim, their hearts remained at home, deeply devoted to building up mathematics in China. This is a very important fact. Later, with the founding of the People's Republic of China, the country faced a critical need for scientific and technological talent. Mathematics, the very foundation of so much scientific progress, has stalled, suffering from a severe shortage of experts. Then, Professor Wang returned to China in 1950 and formed the Institute of Mathematics at the Chinese Academy of Science. In the 1980s, Professor Chen returned to China to lead mathematics research and nurture young talent. He later continued to support Chinese mathematics and helped establish the Chen Institute of Mathematics in Nankai University. Together, they formed the core of modern Chinese mathematics. Looking back, the return of overseas scholars was a monumental turning point. They didn't just build China's modern mathematical research and education system, they brought with them a perfect blend of scientific brilliance and a deep enduring devotion to their homeland. Well, let's look at the future, the present and the future. Up to back in 1950, Shing-Tung, Professor Chen, made history as the first Chinese mathematician to be invited to give a 1-hour plenary lecture at the Congress. That happens in Harvard University. Up to now, Chinese mathematicians have received a total of 160 invitations to speak at the ICM, International Congress of Mathematics, including 14 1-hour plenary lectures. In 2022 alone, 28 scholars were invited to present their talks. These numbers are a testament to the steadily growing influence of Chinese mathematics on the world stage. In my view, a pivotal movement in China's global integration was hosting the 24th International Congress of Congress of Mathematicians in Beijing in 2002. The momentum began in 1994 when Professor Chen and I went to Zhongnankai to propose to President Jiang Zemin that China had to bid for the ICM 2002. President Jiang Zemin expressed great enthusiasm and full support of for hosting the Congress. When the Congress took place, he personally presented the field medals in the Great Hall of the People. This level of national support reflects Chinese recognition of mathematicians as the cornerstone of basic science and the nation's commitment to integrate into the global academic community. The success of ICM 2002 proved to be a powerful catalyst for Chinese mathematics. In the decade that followed, a billion new generation emerged. Many who would go on to become global leaders in their fields. This group includes outstanding mathematicians like Konglun Leung, Zhao Pinson in CUHK in Hong Kong, Fu in Fudan University, He in Hong Kong University, Wu Hao and San Peng in Tsinghua University, Tian Ye in the Chinese Academy, Yuan Junyin in Peking University, Yun Ziwei and Zhang Wei in MIT, and Zhu Xinwen in Stanford. These are very distinguished young scientists, young mathematicians that are changing the world. The momentum from the 2002 ICM has been growing, nurturing rising mathematical stars such as Deng Yu, Ding Jian, Li Si, Tang Xinjin, Tang Yunqin, and Wang Hong, most of whom pursued graduate study in Europe or North America. In recent years, many outstanding mathematicians have returned to China to conduct research and nurture talent, helping modern mathematics to take root in China and thrive locally. This is very important for the development in the last 20 years. With this momentum, Chinese applied for Hong Kong to host the 2030 ICM, which will boast China's mathematical community and enable greater contribution to global mathematics. Since 1979, I have returned to China every year to help developing mathematics in this country, in my motherland. In those early days, I noticed that Chinese mathematicians were scattering all over the globe with very little communication between them. They lacked the networking to stay connected in cutting-edge breakthroughs, and they didn't have access to top-tier spaces for collaborations. To solve this, I found an organization called the International Congress of Chinese Mathematicians, ICCM. In 1998, and later I established the International Consortium of Chinese Mathematicians. The goal of this ICCM was simple: to unite the collective talent of Chinese scholars worldwide, breaking down the barriers of isolation, and build an open, world-class platform for collaborations. After more than 2 decades of dedicated efforts, the ICCM has become a vital bridge. It connects scholars and young talents at home with the cutting edge of global research. At the same time, it makes it easier for overseas Chinese mathematicians to stay engaged with the remarkable progress happening back in China. It has amplified the voice of Chinese mathematicians on the world stage and played a major role in the rapid rise of mathematics in China. For a prime example of this remarkable progress, we can look at the major academic breakthroughs in the last 10 years. One is achieved by Yu Ping, and one other one by Shing-Tung at Tsinghua University. Yu Ping, after returning from Princeton University, had made a major breakthrough in high-dimensional shortwave theory. And Shing-Tung, after coming back from the University of Chicago, he solved the century-old mathematical problem called the plenary conjecture concerning many body problems. The ICCM had also established other prestigious awards, including the ICCM Mathematics Award, which is widely known as the Chinese Fields Medal. Many of our past laureates have chosen to return home, where they continue to achieve landmark results. Take, for example, the gold medalists of the ICCM Mathematics Award, He Xufang, Tian Ye, and Ding Jian. They are affiliated to Hong Kong University, to the Chinese Academy of Science and Peking University, respectively. After they return, they have solved major long-standing problems, which many of the results published in the top international journals. And many ICCM award-winning scholars, including Liu Yifeng, including Li Si, Wang Guozhen, have returned to China to build world-class research teams at top universities. Chen Gao, Miao Chunbiao, and others have made major breakthroughs in geometric analysis, nonlinear partial differential equation, and other fields after their return. They have not only lifted Chinese mathematics to the forefront of the world, but also play a key role in nurturing the next generation of domestic mathematical talent. In addition to attracting the outstanding Chinese scholar back from overseas to pursue academic careers, we have also successfully drawn many distinguished non-Chinese mathematicians to join in full-time. Taking Tsinghua University alone, it has recruited a group of world-leading non-Chinese mathematicians to its faculty, including the Fields medalist Koji Becker, who has been there for 4 years, and Keiji Fukaya, who won the Shaw Prize last year, and McCowis, who is a chair professor from Oxford University. Li Shutikan is a chair professor from Berkeley. Futaki is a major figure in geometric analysis. Don Rubin from Harvard University. All of these people are highly sought after scholars, even by the very top universities, such as Harvard or MIT. So these are remarkable group of people. Expanding on this reason, I formed the Chinese International Congress of Basic Science. A few years ago, it has been a major event focused on mathematics, physics, and engineering. We also launched the Basic Science Lifetime Award and Frontiers of Science Award. And over the past 3 years, many great scientists leading the science in the whole world have come and joining the event. Throughout years of relentless efforts, Chinese mathematics has entered a golden age. As someone who has both witnessed and helped derive this progress, I feel this deeply personally. China now produces groundbreaking efforts in pure mathematics, applied mathematics, and interdisciplinary areas, with its research frequently published in top journals. Well, these breakthroughs published in top international journals across many different fields, including fluid dynamics and algebraic geometry, etc. They have built a solid foundation for our bid to host ICM International Congress of Mathematics 2030 will showcase collective strength of Chinese mathematics to the world. Well, having reflected on the broader journey of Chinese mathematicians, I'd like to turn to focus on Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong, and this city was the starting point of my journey in mathematics. Hong Kong has a profound history and has a great tradition since World War II. I graduated from a high school called Puijing Middle School, and the school alone actually has nurtured about 6 to 7 members of the National Academy of Science in America, and 3 of them, including Alfred Cho, Dan Chu, and myself, was awarded the National Medal of Science in America, a highest scientific honor in the United States, and Danny Chu was awarded the Fields Medal, the Nobel Prize later. Hong Kong has a profound gathering of highly influential mathematicians who has advanced and dedicated to applied mathematics and also statistics. 2 absolutely outstanding statisticians, Wing Wong and also Fang, Professor Fang, has been the professor in Chinese University of Hong Kong. And there's a large group of outstanding leading statisticians and applied mathematicians in Hong Kong, including Zhao Bingxin, Tony Chen, Raymond Chen, and several many other outstanding people. And I'm proud to say that Hong Kong is doing very well in terms of these recruitments and has educated first-class people. Now, Hong Kong has many international renowned scholars, including Ngai Ming Mok, S.Y. Cheng, and several many outstanding people have been promoting science and also applied science. Hong Kong is home to 10 Science Fellows and 5 AMS Fellows, and including 1 Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada and 1 member of the Academy of Europeans. These applied mathematicians have been invited to speak at the ICM, and over 1/3 of faculty members serve on the editorial board of leading international mathematical journals. And these are really outstanding achievements, but we should still look at the future. We have invited and recruit outstanding mathematicians like Yi Ma to Hong Kong University and Wei Junchen to CUHK. Well, years of experience in talent cultivation has led to the firm conviction China must nurture world-class mathematicians on its own soil. This is something that I think Hong Kong should do. With strong support from the from the central government, we launched an 8-year program in Tsinghua University, founding Children College. With the blessing of the President of China, the Children College was able to recruit the world-class students, and they will come as a first grade in undergraduate and all the way to, after 8 years, to earn their PhD. And this has been very exciting event because this broke through the existing difficulty in the Gaokao system in China. But after just 5 years, Children College has already delivered remarkable early results and even exceeded my expectation. Drawing in the middle model of Children College, the Zhejiang College at the Chinese University of Hong Kong just started last year. It adapts the similar approach and leveraging Hong Kong's unique strength with the aim of nurturing outstanding leading talents locally in Hong Kong. I expect to grow homegrown leaders by 2030, achieve great honors in the world, and I hope they will be awarded the Chen Prize and Fields Medal breakthroughs by 2034 by the local grown Chinese mathematicians, not just from outside trained scholars. And therefore, Hong Kong's bid for ICM 2030 will be utmostly important. Well, beyond fostering world-class research and nurturing exceptional goals, we also reach out to high school, junior high schools at more than 50 top high schools across mainland China. We have established a robust talent pipeline, channeling a large number of outstanding middle and high school students to both Children College and also many important universities in China, including Beijing University and all that. Each year we train 3,000 students. These are the most talented students that I have ever seen in my life. And they are extremely original in their thinking, and I think we should encourage this more. At present, such a training has not occurred in Hong Kong. And I really encourage the government in Hong Kong and the university in Hong Kong will adapt this system. And I think this will be very important for Hong Kong. Well, while major countries struggle to separate academia from politics, we understand the ICM this year being held in Philadelphia in America is being boycotted by more than 2,000 mathematicians because of the American involvement in the Iran war. And last time in 2022, ICM was supposed to be held in St. Petersburg in Russia. It was boycotted because of the Ukraine war. So both 2022 and 2024 or 2026 ICM was encountering great difficulty because of geopolitical problem. But Hong Kong is very unique. Hong Kong remains one of the few fully open and truly global cities. Backed by the Chinese mainland, we can steadily host top scientists worldwide and build Hong Kong into a world-leading academic hub. We have proposed establish an Asian Mathematical Society center in Hong Kong that will cover China, Russia, India, Japan, Iran, and beyond, regardless their politics across Asia and the globe. And we believe this will be a future of Hong Kong being the hub of the whole world in advanced mathematics. And qualitatively, we can work together with both Hong Kong universities, Chinese universities, and beyond. And I see a bright future of Hong Kong mathematics community. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Yao, for your wonderful and inspiring lecture. So please remain on stage. We have collected some questions, but since the time constraint, only one quick questions. So the question is, what does Hong Kong's unique position mean for hosting an international academic congress like ICM? Please.
Well, I just mentioned, Hong Kong is almost a unique city who has very solid background in mathematics, as I explained to you, and with the backing of the whole Chinese community from whole China, we have no problem in the strength of mathematics, but at the same time, it's the only city who does not visa for more than 170 countries. In both Russia and America, the hosting of ICM encounter great difficulty because of the geopolitical problem. They deny visas to speakers. They deny visas for people attending the conference. And Hong Kong, by law, would not have that problem. And our students are enthusiastic. We have more than 3,000 students has expressed great interest to come to Hong Kong to attend the conference. And beyond that, the ICM or the IMU strongly support third world countries' participation. And all the developing countries, including African, including Latin America, including India, South Asia, and Mid-Asia, they all supporting Hong Kong.
Now it's my absolute honor to introduce another touring figure in global science, Professor Aaron Washoe. Professor Washoe is a distinguished professor of chemistry and biochemistry at the University of South California and the director of Washoe Institute for Computational Biology at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. In 2013, he was awarded a Nobel Prize in Chemistry for developing multiple-scale models that allow computers to map complex chemical reactions. His groundbreaking work bridged the gap between classical and quantum mechanics, fundamentally changing how we understand biochemistry today. We are incredibly honored to have Professor Washoe share his insights with us. Professor Washoe, the floor is yours.
How do I control it? What? Yes. How do I go backward? Okay. It is a very great pleasure for me to attend this forum. I particularly want to thank Professor Joy Quinn, the president of Nanyang University, for inviting me this time to Hong Kong. Now, because of the time, I will try to go to my main subject of the lecture. By the way, I completely agree with the previous speakers that mathematics is the basic of almost everything. But though my mathematics was mainly numerical one at the time where numerical mathematics was considered a very bad idea. Now, what I will try to describe in my talk is the connection, the interplay between physical-based simulation, which is my main field, to artificial intelligence. And extremely small, okay. Okay, so I will start with the action of enzymes. Enzymes are protein molecules that do the chemistry in the body, and they do it much, much faster than regular chemistry without the enzymes. And one of the main puzzles has been for a long time of why enzymes are so powerful and so fast. It's related to the barrier of breaking bonds, which is reduced by the enzymes. And of course, there is a question how it's being done. And this puzzle, I was interested in it since 1964. So enzymes play a major role in every life processes, also not in life processes. There are many enzymes. They involve, of course, in biology, disease, and industry. I started to be interested in enzyme in the university in 1964. And during the year, I was kind of felt or said that one day I will figure out how enzymes work. This took very long time. And a key stage was developing a way to model the chemistry of bond breaking and bond making in enzymes. Now, this was a major challenge at the 70s, because to describe chemistry, you have to describe the you have to use quantum mechanics, which is, in principle, could solve everything, maybe not gravitation, but it takes a lot of computer time, and it would have been completely crazy to try to model quantum mechanically protein with thousands and thousands of atoms. So we come with the multi-scale idea of restricting quantum mechanics only to small part of the system where the chemistry occurs, and to describe the rest of the system by much simpler force field approach, where the electric field of the surrounding is incorporated into the quantum mechanics. This approach was found to be very powerful, and for example, we use it for many types of key enzymes which are involved in diseases. For example, there is the enzyme RAS, which when it has the wrong mutations, you get sick with cancer. And this happened because the hydrolysis of a phosphate-oxygen bond become too slow. So we try to understand it by the QMMM and by simulations, by doing what is called free energy perturbation. And we clearly could produce these nice movies of the chemistry when a water molecule split and the OH minus attack the phosphate. So we could produce nice movies of the time dependent, but the key question has been and still is, could you reproduce the work of breaking the bond of what is called the activation barrier. The higher the barrier, the slower the reaction. So what you see here, the lower one is the barrier in the good enzyme. Above it, we see the barrier when we have mutations that lead to cancer. So we could reproduce this. We could study many enzymes, and we could also ask the question, why enzymes are so efficient? And the reason why we could ask this question, which could not ever be solved experimentally because enzymes is too complicated, so you need a computer to do it. I mean, it does not mean that the computer will do it correctly, but only simulation could actually do it. And what you see in these slides are the barriers in the absence of the enzyme. These are the blue lines. The red one are the barriers with the enzymes for many enzymes. And after we reproduce the catalytic effect of many enzymes, we could go back and ask why they are so fast. And we came up with the very simple, not fast accepted, that the enzyme apply electric field that stabilize the broken bond. When you break a bond, you create usually charges, and the enzyme create complementary environment to these charges. It's in fact a little more complicated, but this is the short story. Now, in addition to figuring out why enzymes are so powerful, there remains a problem because people do not necessarily believe to this result, and they want to be convinced by prediction. Now, our computer predict the overall catalytic power of the enzyme, but people want you to perform miracles, which means to create new enzymes. I'm not excited from this expectation, but people want you to do something that proves that you know what you are doing, rather than believing the computer. And they want you to be able to design mutation in enzymes that could be verified experimentally. So there are several ways to design or to change enzymes. One is what is called directed evolution. This is an experimental way where you take an enzyme, put it in solutions, create many mutations, and pick the fastest enzyme, and then you do another round and another round, and you get better enzymes. So this approach, which gave Arnold her Nobel Prize, it's basically used the trick of evolution, no computer, and it works to some extent. We are more ambitious. We want to be able to use computers to predict it. And again, from my point of view, it's much more important to explain why enzymes do things much faster than without the enzymes, but the popular demand is to do predictions. So we could use our computations to do mutations by changing gradually one residue to another by what is called free energy perturbation. We have been doing it since 1987. We got kind of moderate success of predicting known mutation, but people are more interested in taking artificial enzymes, which were designed from scratch, and predicting or reproducing what was found by directed evolution. So we could predict known mutations in these artificial enzyme camp eliminars, but at some stage we decided to take the major challenge of predicting what would be found by directed evolution. For this, we use major computer power, major effort, and we end up with moderate success, which means that we generated many mutants automatically. Our best mutants were at the lowest energy, but not exactly at the same energy of the observed mutant. So this is a kind of moderate success. We don't know what it will take to get perfect results, maybe more powerful computers. I never give up, but again, when we got stuck in this, not being able to reproduce exactly directed evolution, we turn out, like everybody else, to artificial intelligence. So the question, why I'm showing this slide, I think I remember. So our competition with artificial intelligence started essentially in 1975, where we generated the first computer simulation of protein folding with Michael Levitt and me. And it was done by simplifying the protein, replacing the amino acid by spheres. We were interested, or I was interested, in the process of folding, proving that it could happen in reasonable time, because there was what was called the Leventhal paradox, which claims that protein could never be folded because it has too many degrees of freedom. So we showed this, but we were unable to predict the exact structure of the protein. I did not care too much, but the scientific community was still obsessed in predicting structure. I felt that I want to understand how you take structure and get function. So this is where AI has a major victory many years later. 2 years ago, they got the Nobel Prize. This was the year of 2 Nobel Prizes to AI, and this is AlphaFold. Okay, so this is where AI did something remarkable. Still in the field of enzyme catalysis, they have not done much. We were aware of studies that use what is called maximum entropy, which is the chance that a given residue will be at a given site, and that people show that this gives correlation with activity. So my Chinese postdoc, Wan Junxi, came with the suggestion to use it. And what is maximum entropy? As I said, you run over many, many proteins of the same family and try to see what is the chance of a given residue from the 24 possible amino acids to be at a given site. And to our surprise, not really surprise, we got beautiful correlation between, anyhow, all of these slides look the same, a beautiful correlation between the maximum entropy to the speed of the enzymes. So this meant that we could predict what mutations will make the enzyme faster, or that we might be able to do it. These are different enzymes, and this is a table that we don't have time to see. And one of the things that we did that to me was the most impressive, we took an enzyme called halogenase. It's the one that split carbon chloride or bromide bond, and we found sequences that could be faster than the nature evolved enzyme. Now, to me, this is much more. It's extremely easy to take artificial enzyme, which is extremely bad, and to make it better. But to compete with evolution is really difficult. So we found sequences which could make the enzyme faster than evolution. And I will skip this because we have, oh, no. Okay, it's not in this presentation, but we were able to predict mutations that will make the halogenase faster than the wild type, and we verified experimentally. We also use maximum entropy to predict the stability of enzymes, and it works very well. I will go faster because, okay, this is the experiment where we predict mutations that are faster than the wild type enzyme. Another directions where we went, which is a little more complicated than regular enzyme catalysis, is bioluminescence. There are these creatures that want to shine light, but they want it to be in the blue or the violet because otherwise the water will absorb the light. So there is huge interest to find enzyme, the enzyme called luciferase, and to have mutations that make it work better. This is the active factor in luciferase. We studied theoretically by figuring out how it works, but again, at the time that we spend simulating the enzyme, we also try to use maximum entropy. And again, this was even bigger surprise because this is not a real enzyme. It absorbs light, reacts with oxygen, and then it emits light. Again, beautiful correlation of the wavelengths with maximum entropy. And maybe the right slide will come. We succeed to predict mutants that will go further to the blue. Another directions where we try recently to use maximum entropy was something that I tried for a very long time. It's fighting with drug resistance. As you know, it's one of the main problems in medicine. People take drugs, the pathogen gets used to the drug and mutate itself not to bind the drug. So we studied this first by computations, by physically based approach. We try to find mutations that will not like to bind the drug, but will also we also exploit the fact that the pathogens want to do chemistry, and it cannot mutate in a way that will make its chemistry less good. So we focus on what is called vitality, which reflects the strength of binding and the ability to do chemistry. This is the vitality. It's the catalysis and the binding product. And we try to calculate vitality for different diseases, like this is HCV. We got decent result for the catalysis, decent result for binding, but not good enough computations. For small numbers, it's really tough to get the exact result. We still don't know why. So again, this showed the problems. We went to AI. I had great hope. We find, again, very nice correlation, but unfortunately, one of my students noted that we obtained the same correlation by what is called the Hamming distance, which is the number of mutation. So we could use the correlation if we have enough experiment to figure out which are the best drugs to fight the disease. But you could do it just by saying in HIV protease that the more mutations you do, the harder is for the pathogen to work, but this is not really good. And the problem is that HIV protease has huge number of ability to mutate. Fortunately for other type of pathogens, we got better result. I don't have time to talk about it, so just one more example. We spend a lot of time learning how kinosine and myosin work. Myosin is what apply your muscles. Kinosine carry load in the cell. And the fascinating thing is that it works only in one direction. And there is a great question. Why does it move in one direction? By the way, this question is taboo for the people who study experimentally. I don't know why they don't ask it, but I try to figure it out. This shows the problem that usually two people walk in different direction in the same speed. It's very rare that when they go, it's very rare that one of them walk, and when both of them are healthy, in a slower way. So we spent on it several years, and eventually we came out to the very simple but remarkable conclusion that the reason for it is that the barriers for moving forward and moving backward, the rate-determining barriers, are slightly different. People in the field believe in words like power stroke. They believe that you move faster to this direction because your leg pushes, which is, of course, incorrect, because in the other direction I move in the same speed. So we figure out that clearly what determines it is the slowest step, and we even show that the proteins open in a different way in the rate-determining steps in the forward and backward direction. And we were able to simulate it. There is a movie here, but it does not show. And this is crucial because many diseases, like heart disease, are controlled or happen because of mutation change the speed of movement. So we've done several studies proving these points, and in one of the nicest cases where this moving kinosine exists, we found that there are mutations that make it move backward, mutations that make it stop, and so on. And we calculate the free energy of the mutations of pulling a group phosphate from the protein and show almost exactly that we could reproduce the height of the barrier and therefore the trend to move forward and backward. We don't have to, these are the mutations. So you have a system where in some cases it moves forward, some mutation it stops, and in one of them it moves backward. and we could reproduce it very nicely by computer simulation, by free energy perturbation, which is the gold standard. We tried to use, again, maximum entropy. It works reasonably well, which led us to believe that we could predict the disease by maximum entropy, but in other cases it did not work. So I think I will skip this and go to the end. We have many stories, but we don't have time. I'm trying to go to the end. Okay. So the end is that there are still many fields where there is a competition between physical-based simulation, where you could understand why things are happening, to artificial intelligence, where you could find what will happen but not always understand. In some rare case, like in the kinosine, we understand what happened by physically based simulation, but we could get prediction by AI. So the takeaway lesson that my knowledge in AI are extremely limited, but I have advantage that I know what to ask, so it sometimes compensate. And there are cases where AI could be extremely important, cases where you have to be very careful. Essentially, this would be my last point. Recently, we will try to see what other people do in enzyme design by AI. My student did, this was about 2 weeks ago, my student did literature search and found major study by major group, huge groups, which tried to study enzymes by AI. There is one problem. These people have zero clue what enzymes are doing. So what they did, they took a computer program, Rosetta, and trained it on every possible properties, stability, binding, everything except on catalysis. So I think this is an example of a very bad direction. When you do not know the field and give information which have nothing to do with the property you are studying, and of course, you do not succeed. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Washoe, for your fantastic and inspiring lectures. So please remain on stage, because our staff sent me a lot of questions from the audience. Since the time that's very limited, so I only choose one maybe interesting questions from maybe I guess from maybe postdoc or young scientists. She or he asked, with the rapid development of AI, such as your AlphaFold 2, 3, or maybe later 4, 5, or even let's say ChatGPT, do you think AI will one day completely replace the scientists in conduct research for, in the future?
Will AI replace completely what?
AI will be replace scientists to conduct research, such as AlphaGo maybe will replace, let's say, structural biologists.
Try to guess your question. You ask if AI will replace physical-based computations or scientists?
Yes. Yes. What's your perspective in the
First,
future?
I hope it won't be during my lifetime. And my answer, I don't know, but we have a month and a half ago a Nobel conference in Dubai where the question was would AI or was AI able to predict general relativistic or quantum mechanics? And I felt that eventually maybe AI could have figured out quantum mechanics. I don't know if general, so I don't know. I still hope that, just with the examples that I gave, that you have to know what to ask. So hopefully no.
Okay, thank you. Again, Professor Washer, please be seated. On behalf of our organization committee, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Professor Shing-Tung and Professor Angel Washer. Thank you for sharing your extraordinary insights and wisdom with us today. So this concludes our plenary lecture section. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tu, and thank you, Professor Ariel Washoe. Please return to your seats. Thank you. Thank you once again for that fascinating and groundbreaking lecture. Thank you so much for sharing your extraordinary insights and wisdom with us today. It is indeed our great honor to hear from world-renowned experts who are pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Their insights will no doubt inspire new questions, new collaborations, and new solutions. Our next session is the highly anticipated University President's Roundtable discussion, titled The New Renaissance, Forging an Intelligent Future for Health and Education. Over the next 60 minutes, these university leaders will engage in an in-depth dialogue focusing on education and health innovation in the age of AI. At the end of the dialogue, there will be a 10-minute segment to share further guidelines and key takeaways. We'll also open the floor for questions, so please use the QR code at the top right corner of the screen to submit your questions anytime for our upcoming speakers. Today, we have the rare privilege of gathering the leaders from 8 local universities in Hong Kong. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming them to the stage. May I invite Professor Alexander Peng Kong Wai, President and Vice Chancellor of the Hong Kong Baptist University, who will serve as our session chair and moderator for this panel discussion. Professor Wai, please. May I also invite Professor Yike Guo, Provost of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Professor Li Wenjiang, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Vice President, External Affairs of the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Professor Chak-Sing Lau, Vice President and Pro-Vice Chancellor, Health of the University of Hong Kong. Professor John Chi Kin Lee, President and Chair Professor of Curriculum and Instruction, the Education University of Hong Kong. Professor Anderson Ho Chan Shum, Vice President Research of City University of Hong Kong. Professor Xin Yao, Vice President Research and Innovation of Lingnan University. As well as Professor Ben Yang, Vice President, Student and Global Affairs of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Welcome. So gentlemen, please be seated. Professor Alexander Wai will lead the discussion for us. Now, let me hand over the time to Professor Wai, please.
Thank you. We have 7 of you. Okay, and we are only given 60 minutes. I think 60 minutes for one will be not enough, right? So, all our credentials are in the screen, so I'll save some time by going straight, to the discussions. The format is as follows. Each of you will have 2 minutes to give an opening statement, okay? Then I will ask you a question, and then you have 3 minutes to answer it. The clock is over there. I don't think it will ring, but please keep to the time. All right. The theme of the discussion today is around the theme of this conference, the new renaissance, forging an intelligent future for health and education. Now, you all know this is a very pivotal time for our country. It's the start of our country's 15th five-year plan, and Hong Kong also the very first inaugural five-year plan. So our discussion will explore how we can align our institutional strategy with Dean's broader visions, try to harness the technology, AI in this particular, to address challenges in health and education, and strengthen Hong Kong's role as a bridge connecting the region with the global scientific community. So I look forward to a rich and candid discussion among us. So let's start from my left-hand side, okay? Yo, Professor Yo, you can start with an opening statement, 2 minutes.
Thank you. 2 minutes is a long time for me. Okay. So I guess I have just 2 points I want to cover, and then certainly there's a great enthusiasm of incorporating AI into health and education. So my first point is for anything which bring in great benefit, we should consider potential risks. There's no free lunch in this world. Okay, that's especially in areas like health and education. When we move AI into it, we need to consider ethical aspects of it, especially in healthcare and education, in terms of equality, in terms of fairness, in terms of security, reliability. The second point I would like to plead to everyone is health and education issues are societal issues. They should not be discussed without a context. Some of you might have followed this AI news in the latest AI index report published by Stanford. They raised 2 pieces interesting data I can remember. If you do Grok 4 training, it generated carbon is 72,000 tons, which is equivalent to 17,000 cars running for the whole year in terms of generation of carbon dioxide. Is that related to health? I don't know, but I would like to see a robust debate of it. If you look at the inference, I have this data, GPT-4o's inference each year, consuming the water will be equivalent to 17 million people's drinking water for a year. Is that a health issue? I don't know, but I would like to debate for it. When we are enthusiastically embracing AI into different domains like health and education, I think we should take a broader picture in terms of implications and in terms of impact on humanity as a whole, on the society, and on the planet. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Professor Yao. And John, your 2 minutes opening.
Testing. Thank you. I will speak something about education, of course, as I come from Education University of Hong Kong. Now, education, I think now really calls for, I would say, a revolutionary reconsideration, the meaning of curriculum, learning, and assessment. According to one of the paradigms or perspective about curriculum, we talk about a few elements like the role of teachers, the time and space for learning, as well as the organizational experiences within university, within schools and beyond schools, and even embedded into the community. Of course, we also talk about these days the impact of AI on learning. What does it really mean about learning? Of course, when we talk about AI, come across machine learning, about human AI interaction, human-computer interaction, and also about the real meaning of learning, meaning what sort of aspect of learning. We talk about social emotional learning, we talk about interpersonal skills, 21st century skills, and so on. Last but not least, in different levels of schooling and university education, it also closely linked with the notion called assessment. When AI comes in, I'm sure many colleagues here, experts here, can throw light on how personalized assessment together with uniform or more standardized assessment could be coupled all together to chart a new way forward for not only measuring, but also giving feedback to individuals, to institutions about the level and also the nature of learning. So I think it calls for really a dynamic change. As far as the 15 five-year plan is concerned, the AI Plus definitely comes into the horizon. I think it links with education, talents, development, and of course technology. On the one hand, on the other hand, how geographically we could connect. Now with AI, with emerging technology and so on, we can connect almost every part of the globe across time and space. So I stop here to provide a backdrop for all of you to input. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Professor Chang, your 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I'm from the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Actually, since last year, our university has been working very hard to develop the next CHK strategic plan, 2026-2030. Okay, we have 5 priorities under the framework, so-called the TIGER. T stands for talent, attraction, and development. I stand for institutional development. G stands for global and alumni engagement. And E stands for education and student experience. R stands for research and innovation. So I'll give a few examples. For example, under the E, education, we will develop some new AI course for the general education because we have the college system, very unique in CHK. And also some of the faculties, like the faculty of science, we developed a postgraduate program called the AI for Science. So for research, we have 5 strategic areas. One of the strategic area called artificial intelligence and mathematics. Professor Yosing mentioned it's really important area at CHK. So this is really the time for us to develop the strategic area aligned with this new development that relate with the AI. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Guo?
Yeah, thank you. I come from HKAORS, and we are at the university now. These 2 subjects is really deep, very, very close to us. One is the health. As you all know, we are now approved to have the Hong Kong 3rd medical school. So for this, we are really in the stage of planning how this medical school will be. But in our proposal to the new medical school, we focus very much on the technology-driven, in particular AI-driven healthcare. So this is very, very close to our strategic plan for building the medical school. The second thing is probably you all know, and HKAORS was the first universities which embraced all ChatGPT when it come to the world, and we actually have the long experience about practice use the AI, particularly generative AI, for education, and we learned a lot. You know, there are some lessons to learn, but also a lot of experience. And we are now in the stage of reforming our whole education structure along with the AI technology, in particularly, as John mentioned, right, how do we think about many things? For example, a lot of people criticize the AI can be used, right? If you use AI for examination, then there's a big problem here. But now we have to question ourselves, is the examination, is assessment, the mechanism of assessment is probably already out of date. How we change it in the area for AI. So that is a lot of work, and we introduced the whole curriculums of the AI education and make it a common core programs. It's really like mathematics for all the students, and how to actually balance the general AI education with the AI with a discipline focused. So this is a lot of the practice we are doing now. So I'm very happy to hear and discuss this subject.
Thank you. Mr. Lau?
Thank you very much, Alexander. And in the short time that I have, I will try to perhaps mention 2 points. First, how AI actually can definitely, I think, improve health through drug discovery, through conducting clinical trials, etc. We've just heard from Laureate Warsaw how AlphaFold actually is now able to quite accurately predict the protein of the target protein for our drug molecules, etc. So that has really sped up the process of drug discovery. AI can actually also quite accurately predict which group of patients might potentially respond to what treatment to provide more precision treatment, etc. And in terms of clinical trials development, for example, AI could also help through the analysis of big data, help us recruit the patients that we need, monitor the effectiveness or efficacy, as well as the adverse effects of new agents, etc. So I think AI definitely will help improve our health. But in the short time that I have, I would also like to sort of raise one concern that I have, and that is how fast AI is moving. We have already heard that, it's really moving too fast. Whether we have the capacity as an institution to really, embrace everything that is in AI, and whether I have the capacity and I have the ability to teach my students or my colleagues to teach my students to embrace the use of AI. And lastly, of course, and I will perhaps talk about this later on as well, about the ethics and the use of AI, as well as while we're using AI, we must never forget, as a doctor, right, the human interaction, which is most important. Thank you very much.
Well put. Thank you. Professor Sun?
Thank you. So the topic, our topic, New Renaissance, I think here calls on universities like us to really work together and forge an intelligent future. And as President Alex Wei mentioned, this is really an opportunity for health and education, especially at the intersection of the nation's 15th five-year plan and also Hong Kong's inaugural five-year plan for our International Innovation and Technology Hub, especially with the Northern Metropolis really getting momentum now. So City University of Hong Kong anchors this by positioning our CityU Hong Kong Academy of Innovation as well as our research platforms as core parts of the Northern Metropolis University town. Also using our Hong Kong Tech 300 program to turn from 0 to 1 research into the new quality productive forces via the deep tech commercialization as well as our Great Bay Area-wide ecosystems. Also in health and education, we have some initiatives and some changes as well. We advance human AI symbiosis through our efforts in our Institute of Digital Medicine, our Institute of the AI for Science, as well as our new programs such as the Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence for Science, AI for Digital Medicine track, as well as in terms of education, we have revamped our MBA with AI as our strategic backbone. So overall, we are optimistic, yet also realistic. We believe that the technology only succeeds when we pair technology with strong institutional leadership, ethics, and genuine system transformation. And we'd like to start here and look forward to more discussions with our esteemed panel members.
Thank you, Wilson. Last but not least, Ben.
All right, thanks, Alex. Let me share the experience of PolyU in terms of education in AI. In fact, at PolyU, we are not only educating students, like students from engineering disciplines or computing in AI, but AI for all students. In fact, we started this 4 or 5 years ago, where we have this compulsory subjects for all students, that is AI and data analytics. So we are talking about 4 or 5 years ago. That is even people start talking about DeepSeek and ChatGPT, back then. So that means for all graduates from PolyU, they would have some sort of knowledge. It's a free credit, full free credit bearing subjects that all students must take. We also started this Education 4.0 initiatives. It's driven by this new VP Education, Professor Chao Jianong, who is an AI expert. So we will embed this AI-enabled pedagogies into our curriculum, and we will start with language education first. So in the new academic year, that is 2026-27, that started this September, we will have new compulsory subjects for all first-year students. That is using AI, that's AI as a tool for in language education. The purpose of that is to enhance the Chinese and English proficiencies of all PolyU students. So that's the education in terms of AI at PolyU. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you all for your opening statement, thought-provoking. Indeed, it's a lot of issues. It's not fair to have you cover such a big topic in such a short time. Now, so we focus a little bit in the discussion part. The question that I would like you to share your thought on is, now we know the country just start the 15 5-year plan. This is the first year. And the emphasis of the 15 5-year plan is self-reliance and strength in science and technology, and also building a strong education system by 2035. Now, Hong Kong, as we started to this topic, is also started to do inaugural 5-year plan, also focus on developing into an intellectual innovation technology hub, and also the construction of the lofty metropolis. Now, with these two directions, one from the country, the 15 5-year plan, and also from our own government in Hong Kong, how do you think Hong Kong University or your own university should, whether you need to, if you do, how do we define your unique role in the nation's development? Okay, so under the election of 5-year plan, and we pretty much can guess what Hong Kong government will do in the 5-year plan, what your role will be, okay, to further our country's development. I'll start with Yao again.
Thank you, Chairman.
You have 3 minutes.
I have 3 minutes, okay. So I want to say a little bit more about this education. I think one of the very popular use and very effective use of AI is to make what we do or what we used to do more efficient. If we look at how AI is used in student learning, how AI is used in terms of lecturing, preparation, assessment, etc. But one question I would like to pose to all of us or have a discussion about is, I think AI will change the way we think about education, will probably change the way we define what education is, especially in the longer term. So whatever we do, I hope we have a robust discussion how AI changed the way we think rather than do things more efficiently. In terms of this 5-year plan, how AI Plus could be promoted or speed up within the mainland, what's the role of Hong Kong? I think Hong Kong, especially Lingnan University, is sitting right in between the high-tech zone in Shenzhen and then the Hong Kong International Airport. So I always said if you want to go overseas for high-tech through Hong Kong International Airport, you have to pass Lingnan University. So in any case, back to the serious part. I think Hong Kong is a unique place where we can balance our long-term thinking about education and the AI and the short-term demand of the society. I see there is a competition between the two. If you think of graduate employment rate, you look at something shorter term. But that might or might not be what the society needs in 10 years or in 20 years. How do you balance these two? Because government are interested in 5-year plan. But from education point of view, I think educators ought to be interested in 50 years plan. There's a competition between the two. How do we balance that in that 5-year plan such that we can sort of look at the 5-year objectives, also look at the 50 years objectives?
Thank you. Very true. A student takes 4 years to graduate and a few more years to develop. Okay, a 5-year plan might not be education. Okay, John?
Thank you. I think if you talk about China, our country as an example, we talk about 2035, where China is envisaged to be a leading country in education. So we are talking about only 10 years, actually less than 10 years for, as a national target. So in that way, I think we need of course, a slightly longer time span in planning. I totally agree with that. But how long, we cannot predict, especially we have to ask AI experts how AI could progress in 5 years or maybe 10 years. But for education, I think as far as our university, Edu Hong Kong is concerned, we have a unique role to nurture teachers because we're the largest teacher education providers in Hong Kong. So for education, I think it means what we have to rethink, what does it really mean to be an educated person in the 21st century, especially under the backdrop of AI and the backdrop of emerging technologies. So we have in our university developed a comprehensive AI and digital competency strategy. And we have, of course, mandatory courses related to AI literacy, digital literacy for all first-year students. We are also working with colleagues because the colleagues also need some upskilling, upgrading in AI skills and teaching skills as well. We are also working with some industries to develop AI-related learning chatbots, AI tutors, as well as projects with primary and secondary schools. So it implies that it's not just teaching with AI, but teaching more about AI. And also, behind the AI, we all understand there's some limitation about AI, especially about the ethical concerns behind using AI. So this is, I think, as far as the educated person is concerned, as far as the remit of education is concerned, I think ethics and values is very important. I think we also need to consider the meaning of talents when we talk about talents in future. According to many international consultancies, it refers to 21st century skills like problem-solving skill, interpersonal skill, critical thinking, creativity. Recently, there are also some discussion when AI comes to a point of development, what sort of areas, subject areas may be more important. Some AI experts, maybe entrepreneurs, say that in future maybe languages, cultures may be even more important than AI. So it calls upon a reconsideration about the subject matter while we talk about interdisciplinary learning, while we all propose that we need to embrace AI in the general education domain. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Wu Zhang?
Thank you again. I think, as I mentioned earlier, our university have been working on the next 5-year strategic plan, which will be finalized in the coming few months. Okay, so our strategic plan aligns well with the 15th National 5-year plan. Okay, university contributes through the cultivation of talent, the advancement of knowledge, and the integration of education science and technology, while maintaining a strong commitment to academic integrity and international engagement. I think in our university, we have a very unique system. We have a CHK Xiatian, CHK Shenzhen. So we have a one brand, two campus framework, okay? So we have a lot of this collaboration between these two campuses. I think in addition to research, I think one is that we have a joint program, 2+2 program with the CHK Shenzhen, also CHK Xiatian, and the AI and math under with Professor Shing-Tung. So this is something like the timely development under our strategic planning, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Professor Guo?
Yeah, I think now China is obviously the world's second largest economy. And I think it's unthinkable as a world's second largest economy, we don't have the international university, right? And if China will develop its own international universities, the University in Hong Kong will be in the first cohort. So we have the historical opportunity to make our universities becoming China's international universities. That's obviously is strategic objectives of HKAORS, and I do believe is also strategic objectives of all our Hong Kong universities. So I would emphasize on the internationalization will be a very important object in the next 5 years or even further. The second opportunity we do have is we enjoyed very great flexibility given by the autonomy of management of our university. I think this is a very unique, and I think we should grab this opportunity. And we can design our curriculum freely, and we can have our education strategies, mechanisms done largely by the university management. So from this point of view, and I think the university in Hong Kong should really play this role well and developing our thought leadership skill. I think this is very important for the nation. And many things, I think, in Hong Kong we can try, and we can use the autonomy we have to try the new things, right? And then use this one to actually align with our international strategies, working with everybody in the world, actually developing the new education approach and the new mechanisms, as well as the new materials and the new teaching, and also new research. Use this one to enhance our thought leadership position and to be a champion in our country's development in the science and technology. I think we are not only play the role of a hub, but also have to play the role of a thought leader. I think this is what I think in the uniqueness of Hong Kong University.
Thank you, Professor Guo. Professor Lau.
Thank you very much, Professor Wei, and I cannot agree more with Professor Guo that, in fact, we must take this opportunity to enhance ourselves and to be the international universities of China in the next 5 years, the next 5 years, etc. But as far as the China's 15th five-year plan is concerned, allow me to focus on its plan on health, because this is what I know better. And in fact, a lot of what China's 15th five-year plan on health is not so much everything on AI and technologies, but also indeed on what exactly we do in training the next generation of health professionals. And that is, of course, they must be knowledgeable. They must be able to apply the knowledge, but they also must actually work as a team and be able to lead. So maybe I will just touch on some of the key points about the Health 15th five-year plan of China. And that is really to achieve what we call Healthy China 2035. And in order to achieve that, we want to make sure that the medicine that we provide our people is affordable. We want to make sure that everyone naturally is able to access health service when they need it. So there is a lot of needs actually in the healthcare system reform. And I think this is where perhaps Hong Kong can actually help to support that with the experience that we have gained over the years in how to manage hospitals and hospital systems, etc., and then learn it together with our Chinese mainland counterparts. The other thing is about primary prevention of disease. So we talk about primary health care in Hong Kong. In China, we talk about community health. That is, we must not wait until the patient has developed, very advanced cancer or very bad coronary artery disease before we act. So all this actually requires doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals to work with the public as well as the patients. So these are the two main key points that I would like to highlight, not exactly related to AI. But then, of course, in health policies, it's very important. We as doctors from the hospital must work with the public health people, with the global health people. There, perhaps the use of the big data will actually help us determine certain healthcare policies. The third thing about China's healthcare 15th five-year plan is on how we could accelerate innovation and translation of health and medicines, etc. I have already touched on, the importance of conducting clinical trials that will link up perhaps the rest of the world with the rest of the Chinese mainland. And as the chief executive in his opening highlighted the importance of the Greater Bay Area International Clinical Trial Institute and platform, and we are fortunate to be the operator of this institute, so we will try our very best to facilitate that. The last thing that I would like to highlight, and that was actually one thing I got from when President Xi actually visited us during the political conference last month, and that was most important, irrespective of what innovations are doing to us, besides being able to afford our people medicine and health care. It is very important that we train our next generation of doctors and other healthcare professionals in a professional way, with humanism, with human touches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Lau. Professor Sam.
Thank you. So the question is about redefining Hong Kong University's unique role. I think I would look at two adjectives. One is we have to be unique, and also we have to be integrated when we are considering Hong Kong as well as Hong Kong universities. Because I think in China, in the national 15th five-year plan, I think the nation already has a lot of capacities to do a lot of things. So how can Hong Kong contribute in a unique way, yet in a very integrated approach? I think it's important. And universities in Hong Kong, I think, should also do that. I think resonating with Professor Guo and Professor Lau's mentioning international universities, that is one area. So I think we have to look into how we can enhance our internationality, as well as how we can do things that we think Hong Kong provides a more possible platform to do things that will ultimately contribute to our nation. For example, I think a lot of our leaders have mentioned our unique legal system, well integrated with overseas, our financial markets, etc. So how we can work together. So my other two points is about action. One is work together. How do universities work together? How do academia work with other important stakeholders in our society, our financier, investors, our legal experts, our healthcare experts, for universities in Hong Kong to contribute to talent development, education, and beyond, because I think universities in Hong Kong are given very unique opportunity and also responsibility. I think our general public and also our nation place high trust on universities in Hong Kong, and I think how do we maintain that? How do we leverage that to do things in a very unique way? Also, working between universities and industries become also very important, especially we have a lot of AI experts here. I believe that some of the leading experts in AI and also contributions in AI cannot do without industries. So how we work with industries where they have maybe top computing power databases that we can harness, and at the same time, how do we diversify? So working together doesn't mean that we lose our own identity. We have to diversify based on our unique strength and attributes. So universities' mission fundamentally is to educate. So how do we come up with new programs in preparation for the demand for talents, etc.? So this is some of our thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Edison. Ben, last but not least, your thought.
All right, okay, thanks, Alex. So talking about the 15th five-year plan, I'm sure all the universities in Hong Kong fully support Hong Kong to be an international education and talent hub. I see that the Northern Metropolis University Town as a key platform to attract, nurture, and retain high-caliber talent who can actually serve Hong Kong and the mainland. And one of the agenda in this, the 15th five-year plan, is promoting high quality and development of service industry. So I would like to talk about the PolyU School of Hotel and Tourism Management. I'm sure some of you heard about this, the Hotel Icon. The Hotel Icon is located in Tsim Sha Tsui East. It's only a few minutes walk from PolyU main campus. It is 100% owned by PolyU. It is a teaching and research hotel. Recently, it is also named as a Michelin Key Hotel. So in Hong Kong, there's only a few Michelin Key Hotel, and Hotel Icon is one of these Michelin Key Hotel. And in the hotel school, they actually provide smart tourism, including artificial intelligence, robotics, technology innovations, and so on. Imagine, so we have this northern metropolis university town. In the town, you have universities, laboratories, lecture theater, and so on. But more importantly, we also need to have a world-class hotel, international hotel. And PolyU can contribute to this for sure. The hotel that we could host guests from overseas, organizing conferences and so on. So that part, I'm sure PolyU can contribute. On the other hand, actually, PolyU already, put things into practice. We have a practical model that talking about translational research institutes. We have already set up 12 translational institutes in the mainland, such as, Wenzhou, Hangzhou, Nanjing, Zhongshan, Wuhan, Hefei, and so on. So we work closely with the local government, and the local government, basically, they provide funding, land, and PolyU, we have our expertise, and we work together closely with the local government. So this, we really turn in our applied research into technologies, products, and service. Thank you.
Thank you. I really would like to continue this line of discussions, but in interest of time, okay, let's go to the question on the floor. But I got a very good one, okay? It said here, as society embrace new technologies, AI in this case, okay, how can we ensure that technology continues to serve people, rather forcing people to adapt to the new technology? In particular, for university, how can we preserve the human connection and empathy that matter most in education and healthcare? So, and it is not unique to AI. I mean, we faced that before, okay? And particularly in education and healthcare, how do we ensure that, we become, slave to technology rather than, have the technology service? Now this time, Ben, I'll start with you.
All right, okay, thanks, Alex. Okay, now for this, I would say we should leveraging AI with the human core. So in other words, AI must serve people, not the other way around. So we're not serving AI, but AI serve people. That's important. And earlier on, I mentioned about PolyU. We already started this Education 4.0 initiative by integrating AI into our education, also into our curriculum. So talking about research, at PolyU, we have a team of professors who actually make use of AI. I'll give you some of the examples, such as portable eyes disease screening. It's a handheld, portable, very mobile. You can take it anywhere, everywhere with you. And it makes use of the AI, and then it helps to screen the eyes disease screening. The other team actually works on a liver fat meter. In other words, this handheld meter that could scan your liver and determine the level of fat from the liver. And the other example is the 3D ultrasound assessment system that scans your spine. So some of these are just the example. And I also would like to talk about PolyU. Last year, we actually, April last year, we started this PolyU Academy for Artificial Intelligence. So we're actually bringing together world-leading AI scholar and also tap on the PolyU strength in computing, data science, and engineering. Some of the projects that in this academy, they actually focus on the AI-driven medicines, projects such as cancer Gen AI projects and also AI for infectious disease control. So some of these details you can find out from the PolyU website. Okay, thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Ben. Now, Anderson.
Thank you. So I think as was mentioned, I think with AI we may have better efficiency, but I think efficiency must never erode empathy, and also technology should augment the human touch instead of extinguishing it. So I think at City University of Hong Kong, we try to embed humanities and social sciences alongside our responsible AI governance to build trust and also prevent isolation. So we have new master's programs such as the MSc in Artificial Intelligence in Business, featuring core courses in AI ethics and regulations, training students to assess societal impacts critically. And also for inclusiveness, we understand that AI is becoming a very important tool in education. So we have a program which is partnering with Tencent on AI programming boot camps, not just serving university students, but actually also serving our communities with secondary schools or even primary schools with the Code Buddy, Work Buddy, enabling the participants with no coding background to create solutions. Including for elderly, chronic disease management, making technology accessible without replacing our educators or caregivers. We also have initiatives with our Institute of Digital Medicine, with our College of Biomedicine, with our vet school, etc., that try to ensure AI also serves healthy aging and also being outreaching to our community. There are community health screening programs. So we hope that with technologies, we have more efficient means to preserve compassion and also cultural sensitivities. On our environmental and climate side, we also have energy saving initiatives to help some of the more underprivileged families to save cost in electricity and others. So we hope that technologies, including and especially AI in the coming years, can be harnessed to enhance our compassion and to increase our human touch and our care for the community.
Thank you, Edison. Personally, you are a healthcare expert. How you ensure that human connection and empathy will be preserved in the AI era?
This is very important. In fact, I started off by saying how AI and technological advances could improve health, etc. And then I spoke about, health is not all about AI and innovations, but also humanity. Perhaps allow me to share with you in the next 2.5 minutes or so a study that I recently read from the journal Science. I think it was published only last week, about a group of conservationists, their observation of the behavior of a group of chimpanzees over the last 30 years in Uganda. And there were 200-odd chimpanzees, most of the time, and then these chimpanzees were friends with one another for a long time, until around 2014 or so. They started to sort of slowly polarize into two groups. One they call the Central Group, the other the Western Group. And then a few years later, the polarization became more obvious in year 2018. And then 1 year later, they observed some of the chimpanzees who were used to be very friendly with each other actually started attacking each other. And indeed, one of the Central Group actually got killed and murdered by 3 of the chimpanzees from the Western groups. And they actually analyzed why it happened, and then discovered that, in fact, the reason for the first split in 2014 and 15 was perhaps down to the death of 5 male adult chimpanzees and 1 female adult chimpanzee. And those 6 chimpanzees used to actually, link up the Western and the Central groups of chimpanzees. They died, so they lost that connection. And then in year 2017, there was a respiratory epidemic. So the chimpanzees were actually forced to split from one another. And then ever since then, they never became friends again. So I think that interactions with one another is very, very important. Particularly, well, chimpanzees are primate, our closest relatives as such. So same with human. Human interactions is most important. So while we try to innovate health, I think it is important that we always must remember that we should also inspire humanity all the time and never forget the human interactions and working together. And perhaps in the last 10 seconds or so, I will also remind people, actually one of the other hypotheses as to why these two groups of chimpanzees started attacking and killing each other was because probably there was a dominant chimpanzee, from one of the groups. And this dominant chimpanzee disregarded, the rules of the chimpanzee world and started raising war on each other. Thank you very much.
That's a fascinating study. It sheds a light on what's happening in the world right now. Professor Guo, okay, you are expert in AI, so what's your view about human connection and empathy?
Thank you. Yeah. We are entering into the human-machine symbiotic world, a symbiotic society. And I think I agree with you entirely, the communication, right? But this communication not be just a human to human, a human to machine. That's actually very complicated now. I think one of the important focus in AI research and also in the humanity work is to really try to make a machine understand people and the people understand the machine. That's the first step. Otherwise, there's no connection can build. On the machine understand people side, there's a lot of work AI people doing. We call it, for example, value alignment. And in fact, in Hong Kong, when we build our Hong Kong models, Hong Kong systems, this value alignment is critically important because Hong Kong runs very special social systems, one country, two systems. So we have to make this, our models reflect this. So therefore, you have to make the machine understand the society, understand social values, which is specific to Hong Kong. So this is actually very interesting and very important research. Along this line, there's a lot of work now on how make a machine understand human. But on the other hand, there's other things, as called the human have to understand the machine. Otherwise, people call the AI literacy, right? I think all our universities doing this hard work now, but also we have a responsibility to actually enhance the AI literacy in the society, right? That is a very important work. And we come to HKAORS, right? We are now focused on building our third medical school. And the medical school will be very much with AI as a foundation technology. But that time, we really have to understand, right, how to actually have the AI systems in such an environment with a strongly human touch. So we set up this kind of Institute of Health Innovation. One very important part is empathy, right? And how we actually not only educate the machine, but also have to make a human aware, right? How have the machine with intelligence in our environment and how to work with them together. So, and a lot of our work now in education for our students on the common core of AI, it's not just about technology. It's really about how human can understand the machine. That piece, I think we have to pay great attention. So for example, how you understand that the contents generated by the machine is actually, you can carefully examine it, assess it. What's the truth, and how you evaluate it. That's all about human understanding the machine. But I think that AI literacy is a very important subject now for this society. Yeah.
Thank you. Professor Chang, your thought?
Yeah, I think I just share my personal experience. I think I'm a plant cell biologist. What we a lot this image, okay? We do a lot this so-called electron tomography. Yeah, using transmission electron microscope, collect many sections of the image. One way we later on we need to draw the model. We used to do it by hand drawing. A student may take overnight to draw one model. Okay, recently I have a very good final year project student. He has been using the AI, so-called using a Dragonfly software with a powerful computer and then he can finish the model maybe in maybe 1 or 2 hours, compared to the old-fashioned may take several weeks. Okay, and one day he come up with me, I want to buy the Dragonfly with a computer. I say, how much would it cost? He said, $500,000 for a final year project student. I said, go ahead to do it. And then later on, I find out search more. We may need to upgrade the software, the computer. I come back with 1.3 million Hong Kong dollars. You know that in Hong Kong system, the RGC grant wouldn't allow you to use the grant to buy a computer, right? So this is a way, I think, but eventually we submit academic equipment grant matching funding. So our university have a matching scheme, 1-to-1. So we try to come up with the funding to support timely for the undergraduate student, the research. I think this really is something, for me, I think for the AI development, we need all the support support from the university, from the government, but down to the bottom is really for the student. They really want to have a project-driven, maybe a purpose-driven research project. They need something that need to be taken care by the supervisor or by the university in a timely also fashion. This is something I think would be for some of us to think about in that daily, the research, working with the student. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, John, how you ensure human connection?
I'm still thinking about the deep meaning, the sharing about chimpanzees from Professor Lau's sharing is very insightful. So if I understand correctly, and according to my personal extrapolation, we have to think really a few implications arising from the chimpanzees scenario. Number one, whether at the end of the day, when we come across AI, some countries, some institutions will have access to a lot of resources, manpower. It will lead to inequality, definitely. It will lead to unequal access. So until a point where the caution within our system, the macro system, how we can ensure that there's a better access and equality as well as development for AI capability and literacy. Point number one. Point number two, the original question is asking whether we cannot really force people to learn about AI. But people have to understand the importance of AI as a tool, probably not as a weapon. So I think this, again, implies that the creation of AI solutions that needs to take into account the ethical aspect, the cultural sensitive aspect, and also truly inclusive. Because according to my reading of some of the recent literature, they start to ask philosophers, they start to ask humanist experts, historian experts to work with computer scientists to develop algorithm calculations to ensure the AI solutions will be broadly accommodating to different cultures and accommodating to different groups of human communities. So I believe this is another direction that we should consider. So the third point is about the balance. At U Hong Kong, we require very importantly the message that all students need to take courses in national security education, legal education, especially including traditional cultural education. I think the balance of learning under the AI era is equally important. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Pershao?
Thank you. I think this is a great question I like very much, and how to ensure technology continues to serve people. I have a very simple answer and a very biased answer. We need more and a better liberal arts education. I think it's biased because Lingnan University has always been very proud of providing a liberal arts education at the university level. Well, the reason is liberal arts education interpersonal development always put people at the center of education. Okay, and then so in research, and then we have AI research. Personally, I'm a machine learner. we always advocate human-centric, trustworthy AI. That's one of the research things out of Lingnan University. So within this team, we have a group of social scientists, we have a group of philosophers, we have a group of computer scientists, of course, and then we have a group of more applied engineers. And then liberal arts education emphasizes you read, write, think critically and broadly. And that word broadly is very important because I mentioned at the very beginning issues like health and education, especially education now, is not limited to universities or schools. It's a societal issue. We cannot separate education from the society. With the emergence of AI, we have to think not only it can make our education as we used to do more efficiently, whether it might change the way we think and behave. I think that level of thinking is very important out of universities. I think that's a university role, and that's where liberal arts education comes into it. Because the last element of liberal arts education is to focus on societal challenges. I know for technologists like myself, I would like to take an idea and run with it. But the liberal arts education, my colleagues tell me, please consider society implications before you run with it. I think this is a role our university education should provide. Not only internal research, in our degree education as well. And if you look at the programs coming out of Lingnan University, at the undergraduate, at the postgraduate, it's all this multidisciplinary, cutting across arts, social science, and the technology.
Thank you. Very well put. I know VX on stage are now sitting between lunch, okay? But it's not fair not to allow each of you a closing remarks. So I take the liberty to control your closing remark. No, don't let the clock, okay? Down to 30 seconds. Try to do that, okay? Ben, let's start with you.
All right, okay, 30 seconds. I would like to conclude by saying the motto of PolyU. The motto of PolyU is to learn and to apply for the benefit of mankind. Similarly, AI. We learn about AI, we apply AI, but the end of the day is for the benefit of mankind. Thank you.
So by 2035, I hope that City University of Hong Kong would be remembered for pioneering ethical, human-centered AI solutions that advance healthy aging, intelligent lifelong education, and national science and technology self-reliance while strengthening Hong Kong's innovation and technology hub. And we also look forward to collaborating with our fellow universities to ensure that this new horizon, new renaissance that we're talking about truly serve people. Thank you.
Thank you, Anderson. Professor Lau?
Thank you. I was at the high table dinner last night, and the students asked me how my life has been, and I told them that it has been tough because things are happening so fast, and there's so many advances around us, and there's so many things that actually passing me by, and I don't know which, and what I could grab, etc. And then I told them that actually I've only got two hands. I mean, there are many opportunities. All I can do each time is I will pick a couple of opportunities. But if we can all work together, lined up together with multiple hands, we will grab all of the opportunities that actually fly past us, and we could share them together. Thank you very much.
Well put. Professor Guo?
I think as a university leaders, we're in the most exciting time. It's not just about AI technology, it's also about Hong Kong's historical role to play to build an international education hub for the country. So I do think we should work together to actually make Hong Kong higher education to be a flagship of the nation.
Thank you. First John?
Okay, as a plant biologist, I don't know much about AI, but I think I need to learn more, okay? So as many of us, I think we need to be educated and learn more and then try to use them. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
As university leaders and colleagues, I hope that we could nurture professional teachers who could cultivate the hands, the hearts, and also the minds with tomorrow researchers, entrepreneurs, and leaders with well-being and also positive values in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Boyao?
I have one very simple wish is that there's more integration between university and the schools, and there's more integration between university and societies. I always believe education is a societal issue, and that university is there to take the lead, but when we lead this education effort, we should not forget the society at large.
Thank you. I agree with Anderson. I really like the theme of this discussion. It's a renaissance. And I hear from our leaders here, many of you have mentioned about collaboration. We have UGC, university, work together on issues like sustainability, different areas, okay? I think it's high time that we, particularly in education, AI in education, we are all doing something, okay? I think at least we share to each other. Set a committee, have the relevant colleagues involved, share what we've been doing in AI in education and healthcare, okay? And therefore, able to, as a group, work together rather than, become part of chimpanzee problems, okay? I would like to thank all our academic leaders here in Hong Kong, okay? And welcome for your thought, and welcome for all of you, spending time listening to us. Thank you, and the session is adjourned.
Thank you, all the presidents. Would you please step forward and pose for a group photo? Thank you so much. Thank you to all the presidents for your brilliant ideas and candid sharing. Thank you. Would you please step a little bit closer and let's take a group photo at this memorable moment. Thank you so much. All right, please face our official photographer in the front. Closer, please. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Would you please remain on stage? May I also invite Professor Nancy Yip to join us on stage, as well as Professor Shing-Tung to join this group photo. Let's put our hands together to welcome Professor Nancy Yip and Professor Shing-Tung This collision of thoughts has painted a beautiful blueprint for the intelligent future of education and health. Please show us your brightest smile. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you so much. You may now return to your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our morning agenda. It is now time for lunch. Our ushers will be on hand to guide our invited guests to the designated dining areas. For all other attendees, you are welcome to take a break at your convenience. Our afternoon sessions will begin promptly at 1:30. Please return to the venue on time. May we also kindly invite our VIP guests to note that the seating arrangement for the afternoon session will be adjusted. Please refer to the seating plan displayed outside the ballroom before re-entering the venue after lunch. Thank you so much. We'll see you at 1:30 p.m. for the afternoon session. Thank you.